Okay, guys, Chapter 10, Lesson 5, Absolute Value. Now, do you remember what absolute value means? Let's make sure you remember, because we're going to be solving equations and inequalities that have absolute value. So absolute value asks the question, how far away from 0 is a number? So how far away from 0 is 3? That's 3 away. How far away from 0 is negative 3? It's not negative 3, it's just 3. So how far away, not the positive or the negative, but how far away from 0 is it? Absolute value answers the question. So let's look at this. We learned in Lesson 1.9 that the absolute value of A is the distance between the graph of a number and the origin on a number line. That's what I was just saying. So the absolute value of x equals 3. Now wait a minute. Let's work this back. Let's think about this. What number is 3 away from 0? There's two possibilities. There's 3 away from 0, or negative 3 is 3 away from 0. Okay, now let's look at this next one. The absolute value of x is less than 3. We're looking for all the numbers closer than 3. So look how it ends up. All the numbers closer to 3 are anything bigger than negative 3 and anything smaller than 3. It ends up being like this, because here's 3 and here's negative 3. Where are all the numbers closer than 3? Like this. Okay, and then let's do the last one. Where are all the numbers further than 3 away? Well, this is 0, there's 3, there's negative 3. There's all the numbers further away than 3. Okay? Just like this. Notice that the less than gives us an and, a conjunction. It's got to be both. And then the greater than gives us a disjunction. It's an or. So this one gives us an and, this one gives us an or. That's important. Now on a number line, the distance between the graphs of two numbers, just pick two numbers, A and B, is the absolute value of the difference. So it doesn't matter if you go A minus B or B minus A. It's just the difference. The distance is the difference without the positives or negatives. Okay, we are going to learn how to solve equations and inequalities two different ways. The first way is by graphing. The second way is by writing an equation or an inequality as a conjunction or a disjunction. So let's look at the first way. Solve the absolute value of y minus 2 is equal to 4. Okay, now this is going to just be some thinking. So let's think about what this means. We're looking for something to be 4 away from 0. So this is going to have to be 4 or negative 4 in here, right? See, it says to satisfy the equation y minus 2 equals 4. They put the 2 in blue and the 4 in red. Y has to be a number whose distance from 2 is 4. Think about it. The distance. So we need to pick that something from 2 will be 4 away. So 2 becomes our center. We start at 2, and we can go 4 to the right or 4 to the left. And when you do that, you get 6 or negative 2. So the answer, using the graph, is you start at 2, because this thing has got to be 4 away from 2. Something minus 2. So 4 minus 2, 6 minus 2, or negative 2 minus 2. And it gives you 4. Okay. Now, let's do them both ways. Here's the second way to do it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
It says y minus 2 in absolute value is equal to a disjunction. Because what we could say is we could say that y minus 2 is equal to negative 4, or y minus 2 is equal to 4. Right? Because if you say that this absolute value is 4, this could be 4 or negative 4. So inside here could be 4 or negative 4. So then you just solve, which ends up being the same thing as the picture. So y equals negative 2 or y equals 6. This way is easier for me than the picture. You can decide, and this way works for a lot more situations. Okay, second example. Solve x plus 1. The absolute value of x plus 1 is less than or equal to 3 and graph it. Let's go straight for the conjunction. X plus 1 is less than or equal to 3 is the same thing as saying that whatever this is has to be closer than 3 or equal to 3 to 0. So this is going to be an and. So what we'll say is x plus 1 is less than or equal to 3 and x plus 1 has to be bigger than or equal to negative 3. Then you solve. So x has to be less than or equal to 2 and x has to be greater than or equal to negative 4. We did it. Okay, now in order to do the picture so you can see that, notice that it's x minus a negative 1. X plus 1 is really this subtraction problem showing the distance. So negative 1 becomes the center, and then you go 3 to the right and 3 to the left. Makes sense. Okay, last example here. It says solve t minus 3, absolute value of t minus 3 is greater than 2, and then graph its solution set. Okay, so what we want to do here is to make it equivalent to a disjunction. If it's less than, then it goes to an and. Less than, that's how I remember it. And if it's greater than or equal to, then it's an or, greater. So this particular problem is t minus 3 is greater than 2. So we're going to translate it. T minus 3 is greater than 2, or t minus 3 is less than negative 3, or negative 2. Then you solve. You always switch the sign, the other one. So t is greater than 5, or t is less than 1. And that's the answer. And then you can graph it. Need a 0, 1, and a 5. T is greater than 5, or t is less than 1. And that's our answer. Okay, we did it. You can do the same thing with the picture as we did before. The distance between some number and 3. So we're going to pick 3 as our starting point, and we're going to go 2 away, and it's got to be farther than 2 away. So 5 and the 1. Ends up getting it either way. You can do the graph, or you can do the equation. I like doing, the inequality. I like doing the inequality because it's more intuitive to me. But you can do it either way. Thanks so much.